Some of these things have been exposed, like the Watergate scandal in 1972 with Richard Nixon, when 7 people broke into the Democratic Party's offices, and they were caught, and then they were sentenced. And in 1973 they were sentenced, and then in 1974 Richard Nixon and people from the White House had to resign because of a scandal that occurred, the Watergate scandal. The scandal was a conspiracy, but the conspiracy was exposed. So it's not a theory, it would be a conspiracy fact. So you have conspiracy theories, those which are debunked because they contradict our methodology, like believing that the earth is flat earth theory. This is another ridiculous theory that some Muslims unfortunately buy into. The first person I met from the Muslims who believed in this, it was a Shi'i, a person who is a Shia, from the Shia religion, I would rather say. Now this Shia, it's not surprising that the Shia would buy into this, because the Shia, their entire theology is built on a conspiracy theory, which is the denial, what they claim that all the companions, Ali Muridwan, conspired against, or the majority of the companions conspired against Imam Ali radiallahu anh. This would mean that their entire religion is based on a conspiracy theory. But this Shi'i that I met, Rafidi, he said to me, he mentioned the flat earth theory. Now the flat earth theory goes against sensory perception, and it contradicts the Quran, because the Quran says وَالْأَرْضَ بَعْدَ ذَلِكَ دَحَّاهَا. وَالْأَرْضَ بَعْدَ ذَلِكَ دَحَّاهَا. Dahaha here alludes to the geoid shape of the earth. Some of them have misconstrued verses of the Quran to mean flat earth, when in reality those verses are in reference, like Sutihat or Busitat, that the earth is livable. It doesn't refer to a flat earth. Unlike planet Mars and Jupiter and other planets which are unlivable, they have rocky surfaces. The planet Earth is livable, so the Quran refers to the earth as being livable. Sutihat is a surface, that the earth is like a surface that is livable. It doesn't mean that the earth is flat. And scholars never held this view. Al-Imam Fakhruddin Al-Razi, one of the foremost Sunni theologians, in his commentary on the Quran says there is ijma', consensus, that the earth is geoid, circular in shape. This is his position. While there may have been an odd number of people who interpreted the verses as meaning flat, according to Imam Fakhruddin Razi, there was ijma'. But we have sensory perception of this. How firstly, the flat earth theory has been debunked by scientists, but how do we as common people debunk it? When you observe a lunar eclipse, the earth comes between so the sun reflects its light onto the moon. So the moon reflects the light of the sun. And we observe the moon reflecting the light of the sun. When the earth comes in between, there is a lunar eclipse. What shape do we see for the earth? We see a circular shape for the earth. We observe the shadow of the earth on the moon. This is observable. So flat earth theory goes against sensory perception, that which we observe. It goes against the Quran also, but if someone argues that the Quran cannot be interpreted as such, as atheists claim, they claim the dahaha doesn't mean rounded, which is in fact wrong. One of the meanings of daha is rounded. If you check lexicography, you will find that meaning. But the sensory perception of observing the rounded earth being reflected on the moon is something that we observe. So if Muslims adopt theories like flat earth theory or the Anunnaki or these various theories that I mentioned, like believing that the moon is not real or these type of things, then this undermines our anti-establishment, pro-freedom stances.